we go. Bonjour et bienvenue à Le Français avec KJ. I am KJ and I will be your host today. We are going to continue our series. Nous continuons notre série de Christophe. But before we get started, let's just remember that this course is for advanced students. So you should have you should have all of the present tense conjugations under your belt, and you should also have some knowledge of the noun, adjective, and verb subject agreement in French. And it would help to have some basic vocabulary. A few prepositions under your belt is always good. So if you are looking for my other channel that has all that basic material that we just discussed, I will leave a link to it in the description of this video. In the meantime, let's get started. We need some preliminary vocabulary in order to get through this part of the story. So we're going to start with rechuter. Rechuter means to relapse. So si on est malade et on tombe malade et on se récupère un peu, mais après un peu on tombe malade encore, on a rechuté. Okay? Puis, un exposé, c'est une présentation. Same thing. So, un exposé, a presentation. Revoir, to see again. So, au revoir. Yes, until we see each other again. Okay. C'est ça is a lot like n'est-ce pas. N'est-ce pas is like right. And c'est ça is like, well, is that it? Is that it? Okay. So cabinet is bureau, note that I've used the French word there. Just a quick tip on how to get fluent. If you already have some French vocabulary under your belt, it is worthwhile to invest in a French to French dictionary. Robert Micropoche peut aider beaucoup. Because if you look up a word in French and then you learn its definition in French, you will become fluent just a little bit faster. So just a quick tip. So, cabinet, bureau, and in case you forgot, that means office. C'est les épaules. That's what you do when you shrug in French, okay? On hausse les épaules. Okay, and composer un numéro de téléphone parce que c'est comme ça qu'on fait un appel. On compose le numéro de téléphone. So when we dial a number in French, we actually compose le numéro. All right. Let's get started. I have to remind everyone where we left off. Christophe woke up the morning of his big presentation with a toothache. A toothache, and he goes to the office anyway, thinking he'll give his presentation, but half of his face is swollen. His cheek is swollen, and his coworker Celine says, "No, we're going to postpone your presentation and take you to the dentist." So he goes to the dentist and he gets some work done, and now it's the next day, and he's back at the office.
Le lendemain, Céline trouve Christophe devant un miroir de poche.
Tu répètes ton exposé devant un miroir? Mais tu as encore 2 jours pour te préparer.
Non. J'ai mal à la dent. Encore.
La même dent qu'hier?
Peut-être qu'elle a rechuté.
Tu veux revoir la dentiste, c'est ça?
Elle s'appelle docteur Anis Durand. Elle est magnifique et elle sent la menthe fraîche.
Mais tu es amoureux de ta dentiste?
Pas amoureux, disons, très impressionné.
Christophe a sorti son téléphone, il a composé un numéro. On a entendu
Cabinet de la docteur Durand, bonjour.
Céline a soupiré et a haussé les épaules en sortant. Elle ne voulait pas de tout se mêler dans cette affaire.
Quelques questions à considérer. Si tu étais Christophe, que ferais-tu pour revoir la docteure Durand sans inventer une fausse douleur? Hmm. If you had to figure out a way without like claiming you had another toothache, what would you do? À votre avis, est-ce que Céline est une bonne amie pour Christophe? Pourquoi ou pourquoi pas? This is a good scruples question. Hmm. Pourquoi Christophe est-il si obsédé par la docteure Durand? Qu'est-ce qu'elle représente pour lui? Yeah, is he really falling in love or is there something else going on? These are 3 questions that you can write about in your journal or wherever. All right, time to reflect. We need to actually learn some things about falling in love in French. First of all, tomber amoureuse is the term for falling in love, but also avoir le béguin is the beginning to have a crush on someone. But this term is actually kind of vintage, kind of cute, used a lot in literature, but not usually used in regular conversation. Il a le béguin pour Sophie. Huh? All right, so here, craquer is more current. It's informal. It's kind of like, everyday conversation. Bon, il a craqué pour Sophie, ou bien il craque pour Sophie. He's, developing an interest for her. He has a crush on her. He kind of likes her. Uh, Flasher sur is slang. It's pretty teenage lingo. And I don't even think it's the current teenage lingo, but that's, if you hear that term, that's basically what they mean. Il a flashé sur Sophie means that he's like, he's got a crush on her. That quick interest. Okay. All right. The other term that we have is kiffe, which is very, very slang. And il a kiff grave means that he has a really, like it's serious. He has a serious crush on her. Kiffe means to sort of to be obsessed by something. Okay, so now you learned all the lingo for falling in love in French. So remember that you can rewind and watch this video as many times as necessary to become familiar with this material. Also, please feel free to add comments or questions in the comment section. Next episode, we're going to thicken the plot a little bit. We'll focus more on C clauses and some surprise extra tips are in store. Until then, I want to definitely thank Pexels and Unsplash because without them, we wouldn't have images to make this stories a little more interesting. And thank you so much for watching until the very end. I appreciate you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that like and subscribe if you have learned something or if you just enjoy watching me put these stories together, because it helps us move these videos along to students who may be struggling with this material. Thank you again so much for watching. And until the next time, à bientôt, à la prochaine.